January till now ended today. So if you have not done anything this year, you can evaluate yourself. So we're going to look at a few things this morning that can help us properly checkmate. You can keep the keyboard lower. Can properly help us checkmate what we have done. You'll be seated by now. No movement. Ushers can sit down. During the third service, you can officiate. Because I want everybody to take a lot from what we're doing right now. Just keep the keyboard low. All right. The topic says evaluate and reset. Evaluate and reset. When we use the word evaluation, it's a common term that is used in the construction industry when a QS, a quantity surveyor, is brought to or is given an architectural drawing and said, tell us what it would take to finish this house. What they expect that quantity surveyor QS to do is to give proper evaluation how and what will be enough to finish this building. Oh, if he says 30 billion will finish this building, the owner of the house, his job or her job is to provide the 30 million and expect that in 3 months this job will be delivered. That is evaluation. Also, it's applicable in education industry. It's also applicable in organization when you want to checkmate what someone have done, how far someone have gone. You do evaluation, and evaluation is what determines whether someone deserves to be promoted or not. So sometimes it's done quarterly, some is done annually, some is done weekly, some is done monthly. But the essence of evaluation is to check if this person deserves to be rewarded, if this person deserves to go to the next level. And that's why you discover that some people, they come into an organization, in 2 months, 3 months, they're out. So you tell them, this person just came to an organization in 3 months, and in 3 months the person has moved on, is already leading the organization. Because when they did proper evaluation, discover that what the person has done in 3 months is more than someone who has been there for 3 years. So the same way, if you sit back right now and look at what you have done from January till now, that's when I did the calculation. Somebody should do the calculation very quickly. How many days have we spent? Let me know if some of us, we are following the year. Oh yeah, how many days have we spent now till today? Calculators. Oh yeah, mathematicians. How many days have we spent now? What? Really? Is your calculation right? You said we will vote. The winner will receive bottled water. Okay, she said 91 days. You said what? 90. Okay, anyway, 91. Which one are we going for? 91, 90. February was 29. Okay, I thought it was 28. Then January was 31. And here's 31. So 31 plus 31 is 62. 62 plus 29. Okay, clap for her. She's a mathematician. In my own, I did where did I even write it down? Okay, I said 80 days, so I was wrong. All right, so accept that. So we have spent 91 days so far, including today. So if you looked at yourself right now, from January up to now, excuse me, what have you achieved? What have you achieved? So that is what I'll be helping you understand today, and how you can also move into the second phase of the year. So the topic again says evaluate and reset. I'll start by saying that sustainable greatness and success in any field of endeavor is attained through regular assessment, evaluation, and deployment. Sustainable greatness and success in any field of endeavor is attained through regular assessment, evaluation, and deployment. If you have seen anyone succeeding in any field, they did not attain that success over the night. In fact, as a matter of fact, there is no success made overnight, and there is no shortcut to success. Every greatness, every success is a product of hard work. What I say? It is a product of hard work, continuous commitment to a cause, continuous commitment to the assignment before you. And no one ever rise to stardom by watching things happen. They make things happen. No one ever rise to stardom by watching things. You can watch things, they have a title given to them, we call them spectators. When you go to the football field, you see many spectators, and they have come to watch only 24 footballers in a pitch. There can be thousands and millions of spectators. Some of them, they are billionaires, they are big trillionaires, but their legs will not even touch the ball. But what they came to do is to witness what is happening. And that is what is happening to many. They have been spectators from January. And sometimes some people have made that their lifestyle because of inability to properly evaluate their lives time to time. Time to time. So for success and greatness to be attained in any field, at some point in your life, you must do assessment. The reason why they conduct tests in primary school, secondary school, there's what we call test 1 and test 2. Teachers, am I right? Though I've left teaching field a long time, but I still remember some of the things that are obtainable. There's test 1, test 2, and sometimes some people do test 3 before the exam. The reason for this is to assess the level of the assimilation of the student over the period they've been taught. In fact, as a matter of fact, schools sometimes do this assessment within 3 weeks of a course I've been taught. Another 3 weeks, there's another assessment. Another 3 weeks, there's another assessment. Then before the final exam. So all this assessment is cumulated into the final exam. So this will give the teacher a lot of courage to know that these students are really following. In your individual life, you must assess your life. That is the only thing that will show if you're ever going to succeed and be great. And while you're doing assessment, you evaluate yourself. Still keep it low. Oh, I've done 60%. Now it's now 65%. I have 35 to go. You know, while some of us may shy away from assessment and evaluations, that some of us, we're afraid to see our failure. I don't want to, if I know I have not done this. It's better you know that you have failed than not to discover that you have failed and you're thinking you are succeeding. That's the word called the worst failure. Let me know that I failed. It's known to me I have failed than not knowing that I have failed, thinking I have succeeded or I'm succeeding. And when I now get to my destination, I discover that I'm a total failure. Today is the end of the first quarter. At the beginning of the year, all of us were excited about the year 2024. So much excitement. Some people were even, this year I will do A, I will do B. How many of you set your goals for this year? You wrote them down. Some of them, you have spiritual goals, you have physical goals, you have material goals, you have different kinds of goals. If you check right now, some, they have not achieved one out of the goal. Some, maybe just one out of the 3. Some 2. And some, they are so blessed that they have achieved all. They're already waiting for the next. I'm going to help you to see the difference between those who have achieved their goals and those who have not achieved. What brought them to a standpoint. And I want you to take note this morning that success is not automatic. Success is not what? Is never automatic. Even Dangote at his level, he still wakes up at his regular hours to continue the same thing he has been doing right from the time he began his business. He sleeps, according to what we heard, sleep less than 6 hours in the whole 24 hours, even at his level. Success is not automatic. Neither is miracle, laying of hands, somebody getting healed, kidney getting healed, liver getting healed. It's not automatic. It's a product of devotion and commitment. There's something that someone somewhere had committed his time to that caused that miracle to come forth. There is something that person is doing consistently that propels the success to keep dishing out. I'll be teaching you about what the covenant can do for you in the third service. If you know how to cut covenant with God, for the rest of your life, you will not smell poverty. I'll teach you that mystery. So, if you look around you and see, why are things not working? Certain things are lacking. Write these two things down. Number one is devotion, and number two is commitment. And once you are not devoted to anything, you cannot succeed in that thing. Devotion is not a product of words, it's a product of action. Your action. Your action. What time do you get to work? Everybody resumes 8 a.m. You get there 8:30. You are not committed. You are not devoted. When they are rewarding men, you cannot be rewarded. When people are saving their money over the time, you were spending your own money. You can't be rewarded. We cannot be at the same level. If I'm praying 1 hour every day and you are doing 30 minutes, we cannot have the same result. Even though we come to the same church, we pray the same God, it's not the same. If I'm giving 2 naira as my offering and you are giving 1 naira as your offering, we cannot have the same result. It's different. So everyone's result is determined by his level of devotion and commitment per time to a cause. So for your success to emerge, whether within a year, within 6 months, within 3 months, whatsoever, it's the level of your commitment and devotion. That's why a wise farmer will not stop going back to his farm after the first day he planted his seed. It's only a fool, a farmer who wants to reap where he has not sown, that will cease going to his farm after he has sown the first seed. We're taught in agriculture that the wheat itself is so powerful that it can destroy the seed planted. How many of you remember that? So continually a wise farmer will visit his farm time to time to remove the weeds. The weeds are called the unwanted plant growing among the crops. Nobody plants them. At their will they sprout. So a wise farmer that knows that in 3 months I want to harvest my crops goes into his farm weekly and remove the weeds. Though it's difficult, it's not convenient. That is what we call devotion. It keeps me going back to my farm and remove this weed, because once I allow the weeds to keep growing, my crops will not grow and my effort will be wasted. That's where devotion comes in. So my commitment is that even if I'm in pain, I will get to my farm. Even when things I will get, because I cannot labor, and when it's time to reap, I have nothing. So my job to attain success is to constantly check the level of my devotion and commitment to what I'm aiming success from. Are we together this morning? Because I'm trying to help you drive the next quarter, which is happening starting from tomorrow. We can all look radiant and beautiful. There are some people right now, nothing is happening in their lives. Nothing from January, nothing has happened. They are still the same person. They have not changed anything. You don't have to cry. You don't have to get bittered. Pick some of the pieces you are hearing this morning and put them back and let it be your parchment, just as Paul said. Put them together and run again in the second quarter. The fact you fail does not mean that the next quarter you will fail. Know the reason why you fail, then set your track on again and move. Constantly, you should check how far you have come or how far you have gone. How much have you gathered? How much is left? Why couldn't you achieve your goal? These are things you constantly look into. Now I'm 32. How far have I come? This 32 I am now. What have I achieved? This is not prayer now. It is assessment. Don't shy away from it. If you have not achieved anything, fine. Why have I not achieved anything? Ask yourself a good question. Why am I on this same spot for years? Be real to yourself. I thought about that last Sunday. Be authentic. Just be real. Why? Because when you know the reason why something is not working, it helps you to solve the problem quickly and easily. In fact, you will not spend hours solving the problem, because you know the reason why I am not moving forward is because of these things in my life. Case closed. And once I know what is wrong with me, to solve it will not be a problem. So what are the factors that makes goals inachievable? Write them down. There are 4 factors that makes goals inachievable. Number 1 is lack of direction. Lack of direction, it also means lack of knowing what to do, where to go. I helped you at the beginning of this year to help you set a proper goal for the year 2024. You should know the things you want to do by the end of 31st March. Irrespective of your age, irrespective of how much you earn, as low as your 30,000, you can plan your life for the next 3 months. As low as your 20,000 naira salary, you can plan your life for the next 3 months. So lack of direction is one of the reasons why people are not pursuing their goal, because they feel that they are not worthy to have such in their lives. And I said an example at that time, January, that have you asked yourself, do I deserve wearing a wristwatch worth 100,000? If I deserve wearing it, then there are things I need to put in place. I need to start saving the money, because by the end of March 31st, I should have been able to afford to buy the wristwatch worth 100,000. Because once I have a direction, nothing will be too big for me to achieve, no matter how impossible, how difficult it seems. So in the second quarter, what stopped you from not achieving your goals? Because you don't have direction. What you wrote down, you are not sure. Because pastor said everybody submit, that's why you just wrote and submit. You are not even sure about it. Your confidence, your boldness, your self-esteem is not enough to carry you through it. Number 2 could also mean to you, if your own is not lack of direction, could be lack of devotion and commitment and concentration. That could be the reason. Some of you are not writing. Please, when you are coming to this talk, get the book to write. Particularly those of you that are in the choir and leaders, get the book to write. When there is no devotion and concentration, you can lose track of achieving your goals. Concentration means that this is what I want to do for the next 3 months, nothing else. And this happens to many of us, even we as pastors. We want to do this, we want to do that. That's why some ministries, they see this church doing this program, they jump on the program. They want to do this one. There is no proper direction. There is no proper concentration. Everybody have an assignment. My assignment is not the same as yours. Neither is the same as yours. They can have similarities, but they can never be the same. That's why Paul said, I've set my pace on the goal that is ahead of me, leaving behind the things which are what? Which are before. I'm pressing on to the mark of the high calling. Every time your eye should be on the goal ahead of you. What will become of me when I am 45? That should ring in your mind. It avoids you of distractions. You will not settle anything. You won't buy anything. You won't waste your money on it. You won't dive into anything that is not in direction of your assignment. That could be the reason why you have not achieved your goal for the first quarter. Number 3, and this can be one of the biggest reasons, laziness. Laziness. Maybe this one has to do with those of you that said, I'll be doing exercise. I want to reduce fat. I want to reduce some kilos. I want to... laziness could be, someone says, I want to pray 1 hour more. That is the time you now went to subscribe for Netflix, and you now begin a series movie, 32 series. You have already enslaved yourself, and you now love to watch the series, most time 12 midnight, and each series less than 2 hours. Imagine 2 times 32, that's 64 in hours. In fact, when I get to my Netflix, once I see a series movie showing 1 to 3, I ja, because I know a series movie is a trap. It will keep me coming back. Any movie that is more than 1 hour 30 minutes, I'm not watching. I don't want to be enslaved, because that thing will keep me coming. There are series of movies I have started. I've stopped going back to them, because it will tell me to watch the end. Imagine a series, I have 9 series. At this level I am now watching 9 series. Each one is 2 hours 21 minutes. 1 hour 34 minutes. Imagine if I'm devoting 2 hours 21 minutes watching series of movie, but 3 series in a day. What will become of my life? So laziness could be the reason why you have not achieved your goal, because you have diverted your concentration to to something else. See, beloved, I won't take it from you. Distraction comes in any form. It comes to any, even we as pastors, distraction comes. But you must be committed to a cause per time. There is something I should know you are doing at this time. I should not see you doing something else. The reason is that so that you can attain success at the time you have set for yourself. I will only be blaming myself if at this level I'm not here now. I will blame myself. And I will also blame myself if at 40 I will not be where God had intended for me to be. I should blame myself, not anyone. Are we together? Because the track is already on. My job is to ensure that I'm not off that track. Stay on the track and press on. How many of you watch athletes? Those that run the race. You know, some of them are running 100 meters. Would they be looking at someone beside them? The lady is looking at the hand in mind, putting all the efforts. Even if that one is dragging, he's not here, he's marching on. That is how it is. That you will not be distracted, liar. I tell you, beloved, you have so much distractions around you. Your family will come. Your mommy just fell down from chair in village. They need 100,000 right now, and you need to save the 100,000 for that month. Better look for somewhere else to get that money. That money should go to your savings. It's a well-piloted distraction, so that month, that money is not safe. It's sent into emergencies. But remember, we prayed a prayer in January that any form of emergencies that I did not plan for should not come my way. Do you pray that prayer in January? So if I prayed it, no emergencies whatsoever should enter my finance. So as you are physically vigilant, spiritually you also be vigilant. This is a new month starting from tomorrow. And the last one is lack of focus. Lack of focus. So how to evaluate yourself? You need to for you to evaluate yourself, you need to ask yourself these following questions. You may need to write it down, but if you can't, just listen to them. If you want to evaluate yourself and have a proper answers to why you could not achieve certain things in your life, ask yourself this question. Number one, what are my strengths and weaknesses? Maybe you have set goals that you don't even have strength to attain or to work towards or to meet up with. Remember, I told us at the beginning of the year, don't set a goal because your friend is setting the goals. Don't do something because your friend is doing it. Set goals that is in direct proportion to your weakness and your strength, so that you are not a dependent, you are not a liability on someone else's strength to get your own done. Because if the person fails to appear, that means all of your life is down. And I taught us in this church, which is the way I'm teaching you to be independent of me, even as your spiritual pastor. I'm not growing children in this church, sons and daughters in this church, that will call me 2 a.m. pastor, they have come. I said, we'll go and meet them. I'm raising men and women who will be able to stand and fight their battles head on. Can I hear amen to that? So also, never let your goal be dependent on anyone. Until they pay my salary, I cannot do this. Until I see my pastor, I cannot do this. Until I see this, I cannot do this. No. Your life should be independent of any man. You will be successful without any description. Number two, what are my short-term and long-term goals? Actually, that's another way to evaluate yourself. Maybe the goals I set is a long-term goal and I want to achieve it in 3 months. Let's say, for example, you want to buy a car between January and March. How much is your salary? That's a long-term goal. You cannot achieve that in 3 months. That could be a goal that you need 10 months, 12 months to achieve. So check it. Maybe that's the reason why you could not achieve. Number three, what actions have I taken to recently move me closer to my goals? What are the actions? Oh, when you're supposed to be reading your book, you went to go and party and you spent 3 hours partying. After 3 hours, let me meet with my friend a little bit. From there, and 6 hours gone. So look at those actions you have taken that indirectly deviated you from that part of your goal. The next one, Am I living in alignment with my values and principles? I taught you about values and principles in this church. You should have values, you have principles, things you can take, things you cannot take. Let people know you for who you are, than to be a chameleon. You are neither blue or black. We don't know when you are angry, we don't know when you are sad. Let people know that this guy does not take trash. That's your principle. You can't take my things and go scot-free. You bring it back. That does not mean revenge. So check your values. Why? It could be that maybe you are not even as valued as you have called yourself. You might not even be as principled as I said you are. You are just trying to form. And the last one, what aspect of my life bring me the most fulfillment and satisfaction? Which area of your life give you satisfaction the most? Oh, you just love to stay in that salon plaiting down your hair. It gives you joy to see people's hair look radiant. That might be your satisfaction. Then why are you bothering yourself? Go and be sewing clothes. You can't be a success. Stay in the area where you have more satisfaction and fulfillment. So how can you reset your goals? You should do that in the next 20 minutes. How can you reset your goals? Number one, reflect on your current goals. To reset your goals for the second quarter. Now you have seen the first quarter, January to March. The things you've said, I want to save 200,000 from January to March. You did not save 20,000. You have spent all the money. No problem. You can get home and cry, no problem. But wake up the next morning and smile. Say, I will start over again. I like everybody to say with me, say, I will start over again. And if you have achieved something, say, I will continue it. And everybody is saying the same thing, no problem. Are we together? So whatever it is on your own part, you can start over again. Because the year is not ended yet. Even if the year remains one quarter to be over, it's still year. So go back and check, reflect on your current goals. Take some time to reflect on your existing goals and assess whether they still align with your values, aspirations, your priorities. Consider what's working well and what needs to change. Check them. For example, I told myself, my wife said, this January, I want to do A, B, and C for my children. And what stopped me from achieving that particular goal? Because when I went to the place where I need to make an enrollment for them to get that thing done, they said they don't no longer do it for children. So that kept me bound. So I kept inquiring, and they said they can no longer do it for children. Until lately, I was now hearing now they have now opened it for children and becoming late. So I've told myself this second quarter, I must achieve it at all costs. I must defy all odds to ensure I achieve it. I get fulfilled. I see this joy resonate inside of me. When I see my goal achieved inside of me, I marked it as achieved. I feel so much sense of fulfillment. I'm going to feel that kind of fulfillment. This joy is this inherent joy. This joy that is not attached to anything. You are just happy, as if you want to jump on the water. But don't go and jump on the water, please. So reflect on those goals. It's okay if you did not achieve them. It's okay. Just try to reflect on them. I mean, obviously have your goals with you. The goals for the first quarter. At least you should have it somewhere duplicated, even though you submitted it. Number 2, identify areas for improvement. What are the areas where you need to improve on? The first quarter, what are the things you did not do well? If you know that the work you are doing stressed you more in the day, and at night you won't be able to wake up at midnight to pray. So then what you need to do, you might need to change your hour of prayer to maybe a more earlier hour, or early at the most earliest hour of the day. So that once I wake up, I will just do my prayers, then I start setting out for work. Instead of it said, you get back maybe around 8 p.m., your body is aching you, and before you know, you have slept off. Waking up, you are waking up at 6 a.m. The body is not what they call it. It's not what? It's not a machine. So now you may need to adjust your time. You are not a spirit. You are still in your body. Be real. Adjust the time. Okay, now I will move my prayer time to 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. No, I will do from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. So if at all you slept all through, set your alarm to wake you at 5 a.m. So once I'm done praying by 6 a.m., I'm setting out for my day. Try to improve on things. Just be real and check why. Why didn't it work? Oh, I'm supposed to be fasting once a week. and you know that once you eat, most of the times you eat around 11:30 while you are watching your movie, you are still putting chewing gum, popcorn, and sipping your juice. You now drink your juice into 12 midnight. You have broken the fast. So tell yourself, I will not eat anything from 10 p.m. And some of you, after eating at that 10 p.m., you'll be dreaming in the dream. One day I'm eating again in the dream. So just look around the things. What are the things that stops me? So improve on them. It could also be that you wanted to save money in the first quarter, you could not save. Why couldn't I save that money? What happened? It could be that you are just buying anything that comes your way. Why don't you set a discipline on yourself? Tell your accountant to put a standing order on your account. Once this money comes in, tell them a standing order. 50,000 should move from here into a fixed deposit. Let it pain you. Let it be like the money disappeared. How many of you feel that? When money disappears from your account, how do you feel? Feel that pain. But feel the pain for 12 months. You have saved 600,000. By December, when you are reaping 600,000, you will know how fulfilled you have become. Whatever did not pain you, you cannot gain from it. Whatever you did not feel the pain, you cannot gain from it. Feel the pain right now and get the gain later. So look at it. Number 3, prioritize your goals. Prioritize your goal. That is, rank your goals based on their importance and urgencies. I've taught the difference between urgent and important. What is important? What is urgent? Prioritize them. What do I need to do first? What should follow? What should follow? Don't do what you're supposed to do now and postpone it later. Are we together? That helps you to quickly attain your goals. For example, what you are meant to buy by the end of this second quarter is what month? June? Is it June? Now, what you are meant to achieve in June, don't do it now in April. What you are meant to do in April, don't do it in June. Set your goals in the order of their priorities. Which one is urgent first? It's called the principle of first thing first. And let me say to you, beloved, some of us are caught in the web of this. We are fond of starting something and never finish and jump to the next. It can erode all of your plans and make you unsuccessful. Don't jump into a thing until you have completed the foremost or the first. See to the end of the first before you go to the second. There are people who don't have that capacity. Don't say because your friend is doing it. He's saving 3,000, 10 places. You don't know the source of his income. Your own source is just 2 means. If you now begin to save 3,000 in 10 places, you are going to shrink yourself. Why don't you stay with that 2? And at the end of 3 months, I have saved enough that my salary could afford, than trying to, and eventually you have not done anything. That's why we read that scripture. He said, haven't you not seen a man who will sit down first and count the cost of what he want to do before he begins it? Not that when he started and he couldn't, and people begin to say, look at this man, he started building and he cannot, and they begin to call him a fool. Jesus was the one who mentioned that statement. He said, before you start a thing, count the costs. What will cost me to finish a course in university? It will cost me 4 million. Good. How will I get this 4 million? Put it in measures and take them step by step. Don't do the one you will do at third semester, at first semester. You will erode yourself. You will just become a movement without motion. Take your step one after the other. I've told us in this church, I'm not afraid of growing the church. I'm not in haste to grow the church. This church will grow with time, and it's growing with time. The right people are coming and they are staying. They are not giving me problem. Those that gave me problem those times, Pastor, we have not eaten, oh, we give them 20,000. Our house rent, oh, we give them money. They are the one giving me most headache. They are even the one want to insult me. I said, Lord, if they don't belong here, I pray them out. And thank God, God have taken them off. So those that are meant to be here, with time they will come. So I'm at peace. I've never had a headache for this church since this church began. I've never had, my wife is there, I've never had a discussion, baby, how do we grow this church? It can never be a discussion, because I do things step after the other. The goals have been set. We know where we are going to. We know what we are sent to do. We know who we are sent to. So time will unveil them one after the other. You will be at peace. You will sleep well. So even things is not working, you just need to check why it's not working. You will quickly see what is not working, because you know what you are doing. But when you don't know what you are doing, when things are wrong, you will not even see what has gone wrong. What number are we? Number 4. I may not be able to take all, but I'll just take the ones I can. Number 4, break down your goals into actionable steps. Actionable steps. Divide each goal into smaller actionable steps or milestones. This makes them more manageable and helps you to stay motivated as you progress. Break them down. Break them down. Break all of your goals into, when we say actionable is a very, very notable word. Actionable means that this is what I would do when I get there. This is what I would do when I get there. This is what I would do when I get there. It means that there's always an action plan for every step you want to take. There's already an action. That is why you should have a plan. What I say? Don't live your life without a plan. Are we all together? Even at your level, as young as you think you are, 15, 14, 12, you should have a plan for the things you want to do. You can have a journal where you have set it. This is what I would do, and this is the step I would take. Remember, the Bible says, commit your ways unto what? Unto the Lord, and he shall bring them to pass. When you don't have a plan, what will you commit to God? So God expects you to have a plan that you have set. Then you will not commit the plans before him. God sees them and said, no, this one does not align with my way for you. If you go that route, you will struggle. God trashed them. And this is how God trashed the things that is not in alignment. This is how you will know when it's not in God's plan for you. Anytime you try to do it, it's a struggle. It's a first sign that God is not willing. Number 2 sign is that you begin to feel unrest. Once you begin to see these signals, just take that thing out. The ones that you rarely struggle on it, and also there's a lot of peace, is a sign that God really wants you to do a lot in that area. That helps me to do things quickly. And that does not really mean that when you get to a point where things become tough for you, that does not really mean God is not there. You may need to step, if you understand that God is leading you there, you may need to step up your game into a higher realm of inquiring. Asking God question, why is this thing not working? I told you early this year, when a product was not selling, I went into a prayer of inquiring, asking God, why is it not selling? And God said, A and B and C is the reason. Simple. That's another level to know why is it difficult to sell. So, but the simple signals to know are what I've given you. Break them down. Let's take 2 more, then we'll wrap up. What number are we? Number 5, seek support. If you want to reset your goal, seek support. Look around people who have achieved the things you want to achieve. Ask them questions. I do that a lot. There are people around me in my field who is doing something I'm doing. I learn from them. I ask them questions. Beloved, never feel too big to ask help where you need the help, particularly in the direction of the goals you have set for yourself, because no man is an island. What I say? No man is an island. Whatever you want to achieve, somebody have achieved it. Whatever height you want to attain, somebody have already attained it. So it becomes a simple puzzle when you ask the person, show me the way. Even the person is not showing your way, be persistent. Keep asking questions. One day the answer will come. But always seek support, so that in 3 months you have done a lot. You have covered a lot of milestones than trying to do it by yourself. There are things at my level right now, I no longer do them by myself again. I look at people who have this strength, I channel it to them. My one is to monitor it. My one is I want to see success. I'm out. It's called partnership. We learned that last week Sunday. Looking for people who have strength to deliver what you are weak at. Give them the authority, oversee it, then take your result, take your own portion. Everybody walks away. So you might need to do that. Maybe you want to achieve your goal, something. Look for someone. Maybe the person you only need to take 2% of it. Don't be greedy. Give the person 2%. Take the remaining 98%. You will be fulfilled at the end of your 3 months. And the last one, we'll pray. Celebrate your achievement. This is very important. Learn to celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Recognize and reward yourself for reaching milestones and making progress towards your goals. Celebrate your little successes. Don't walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. You are not rewarding yourself. One of the ways you reward yourself as a self-employed or sole proprietor is to pay yourself a salary. Do you pay yourself a salary, or you just spend from that money? Someone taught me this many years ago. One of my aunties, she has a very big school right now, Abbas Art. I used to be a music teacher for her when she was admin of a school down this where I think the school is Tender Crado or something. She used to be an admin of that school. This is about 2010, 11. I used to teach a music for her in the school. And so my school was already running at that time, so I had to go to her and ask questions. I said, why A and B? And he was sharing something. First principle is learning to pay yourself. When you pay yourself, you know what you deserve, what your value. Put your value online and put a monetary terms to it. What do I deserve for this work I'm doing? Forget you are the owner of the business. I own the whole business, but put a value to yourself. If I worth 100,000, pay yourself 100,000 and don't touch a penny out of that business except that your salary. Say you'll be successful in a matter of time. When she started her own school again, I walked to her again, myself and my twin brother. I said the same question. He still told me the same thing. He said, "Now, are you paying yourself your salary?" I said, my answer was not definite because I was not paying. We dive into money, just spend the money. No. You can't grow your business like that. You can't grow your life like that. So, celebrate your milestones. Like now, if you have achieved your goals for this, I will not ask anybody, I will not ask you to raise your hand. If you have achieved your goals, even if it's 2 out of your goals from January to now, forget the ones you not achieve. Look for something rewarding and do for yourself. Just tell yourself, what can I buy for myself that each time I look at it, I will say this is a reward for this work. Like this phone. Each time I look at this phone, it's a reward of me trading. I've been using a phone that has been stressing me for days, for years. I said, if I make so much, I should be able to buy something that when I see it, I'll be happy. And I walked to a store, I bought the phone, 300,000. I said, I must reward myself for it. And I said, each time I look at it, I said, it's a reward for this hard work. It took me a sleepless night learning, practicing. Though the money pained me, I'm supposed to have used the money to solve a problem. I said, no, if I did not do this, I will not be happy each time I see this. So each time I see it, it encouraged me that there is still much I can get from it. So reward yourself. It might be something very small, but keep that thing tangible. Each time you see it, it will serve as motivation to do the next. I don't know if this makes any sense to you. It serves as a motivation. This is what happens. That way, some people, sometimes they will just say they are going on a vacation. Vacation to go and spend 10 million. They have made 100 billion. Spending 10 million for 1 month on is nothing because they need to reward themselves for this they have done. That alone would inspire you, motivate you. Say, come on, this one will do better. Some people, they buy themselves a car. Some of them, they build themselves a house. Some of them, they just say, I will buy the most expensive wristwatch for myself. Just to reward yourself. In fact, I don't want to say I'm drinking Gary of this phone. But it's okay. Let me drink the Gary. But let me be holding
the motivation. Let me be holding it. At least 3 weeks now. I know it is well. It is well. But each time I see it, no, I'm motivated to go back and keep putting my effort. In fact, my children broke our TV around my 43-inch TV. They just threw a plastic and the TV broke. For more than 3 months, we had no TV in there. I said, I will not buy this TV. Since you have broke it, you're watching your laptop. People will come to us and say, why? I said, TV, the TV is on vacation. So one day, I said, no, I have to stop this. So one money just came to my account. The money is meant for a very, very, very important thing. I said, Paul, if you don't reward yourself now, there's nowhere else you can reward yourself. My wife was not at home. I think she was in school. I told my children, we are going out. We just walked to the supermarket. I said, okay, how much is this to be A and B and C? We just, okay, today we are buying it. Whatever is going to happen, let it happen. And that day we brought the TV. We didn't even buy that. We bought smart TV. This one we can use internet to connect. I said, this one. So when I look at that TV, I remember the pain I'm going through is okay. The pain will go. But looking at that TV, reward makes me feel happy. At least this is the reward. The same thing that my Range Rover. I painstakingly said this money I will use to buy this. I can't be driving jalopy car. I squeezed the money. I said no. I prayed it, and God has brought the money. I will use wisdom to say. So when I look at that car, I remember that this is a reward of this service I've rendered. So it motivates me all around. I can keep mentioning many of them like that. There are some things in this church that I've used my personal money to buy. When I see it, it motivates me to do more. It might be surprised one of these days I will just say, the AC is already here. It might be me that will buy it. I've dropped it on the platform and I won't drop it again. I'm praying for the ones God will use. I'm praying, Lord, just give me the money. I can buy the whole 10. Less than 5 million. But when I see it, it motivates me to do more. Reward yourself for every milestones you achieve. No matter how little. Try to do it. It might be painful. The money might be painful. I'm not saying it will not be painful. Me is paining me now. Don't worry. Don't manage my pain for me. I'm managing it myself. It might be painful, but at least, because one of the things we don't do for ourselves, particularly Christians, we don't reward ourselves. We don't reward ourselves. That's why you see most Christians, they look poorer than how their business looks. Why will you be looking lesser than your business? You should look, at least be equal to your business. And time will tell whether you are doing well or not. That your 40,000 naira salary, at least in a month, is not wrong for you to buy one new clothes you have been using. Okay. Just say, I'm going to close my eyes. I'll buy 10,000 brand new clothes. It will change your psychology. Your taste bond will change for life. The first time I tried it, I lost the taste for okay things. My taste, when I see it, it irritates me. My wife knows. It begins to irritate me. So my taste for new things sprouts. I told myself, the last one I bought is the last I will ever buy. By the grace of God, every other ways I have, I bought them brand new. And what happened is that because my taste bond changed, I have this very low tolerance for low quality things. When I see it, I react. I want the best. I want the best because over the years, I'm used to low quality things, okay things. So now my taste bond has changed. So my taste is looking for the quality, the most of them. So if it's going to cost me extra, I put the money, I buy it. So when I see it, I feel this confidence. It helps me to say more. You have rewarded yourself. You can do more. And beloved, I can tell you, no one else can give us that kind of motivation than what you have done to yourself. With that, you'll be motivated to look into the next quarter and said, 3 months, no, we'll achieve it. We'll do something better. From today, start rewarding yourself. Hallelujah. I don't know if this makes any sense to anyone. Come on, clap for Jesus. Hallelujah. Come on, do it better.
So for just a few minutes before we start the third service, you can end the live right now. I'd like you to just meditate on what you've heard. The month is ending today. What have you achieved for the first quarter? How much have you saved? Why couldn't you save that money? Why couldn't you buy the item? Why couldn't you move to that new house? Why couldn't you buy that car? Why couldn't you start that course? Why couldn't you start that business? Why couldn't you start that relationship? Why couldn't you travel abroad? Why couldn't you get that passport? Why couldn't you finish that course you started? Why couldn't you? Now reflect on it. Don't get too bitter about it. It's okay to feel bad about it, but come out of it and tell yourself, this new quarter I receive grace to do better. That's a prayer you're praying. I receive grace to do better. I receive grace to do better. That's a prayer we're praying.